Hey guys, this is Romer45 here, just here to give you another video, this time regarding the death of Stan Lee, someone who has been a big impact on a lot of people out there in the world, whether you were a comic book fan, loved watching the comic book movies, or even enjoyed playing the video games. One way or another, whether you were a small-time fan or a big-time fan, this man made a large impact on people's lives. For me personally, I first encountered him when I played the Spider-Man 2000 game on the N64, and just listening to him narrate the intro and the rest of the cut sequences, that definitely made a great memory on me, and it always gave me smiles. Although right now, post-mortem, this will definitely have a lot more pain whenever I encounter this, or any other time I watch a good Marvel movie, which to me was most likely before 2008 with Iron Man. That to me was the last good Marvel movie. And then anything that came after that was either average disappointment or just filled with an agenda trying to divide people. And I like to view it as view it from there, that he had no influence in that, and that I would always be able to view his cameos as the highlight of every movie from that point on. I actually had two chances to meet him. The first one was at the 2012 New York Comic Con. That one was a little bit tougher to know where he was, and then I was also standing in line for another 3 hours trying to meet another actor who had some influence in my childhood, although not as much as Stan Lee, I would say. When it came time to meet him, I figured there would still be a little bit of time left, but they told me that he wasn't accepting any more autographs, which left me disappointed in a way. But I kept thinking, this guy's gonna be healthy. He's gonna live up to 100. He might be able to. I'll always get a chance next time. That other next time was in the 2016 Fan Expo in Toronto. I had a chance to meet him there too. However, the prices there were $100, and the line, as you'd imagine, would of course be at least 2 to 3 hours long, especially since this would be the last time that he would be coming to the Fan Expo. I was thinking that was most likely my first priority going there, but after meeting a couple of other voice actors who made an impact on me during my childhood, I figured that the price wouldn't be worth the money, and that I just hoped that maybe I could just see him again at the next New York Comic Con whenever I had the time. Time kept going by, opportunities were not given to me, and then I find out about this, and I'm not as upset as I should be, because when you think about it, after I heard him die, the first thing that was going through my mind was the music video of "Hurt" by Johnny Cash, about how everyone in the end goes away, and I could have everything I want. Like, I could get a picture with Stan Lee, and then it would be a great encounter. But then I'm like, okay, this would be good in the short term. I'd have something to tell my kids about, but would it have been something that would have made me happy in the long run? And the reason I say this is because of what's been going on in terms of what he's had to deal through in regards to elders abuse and minorities attacking him just because he posted an honest opinion of that wasn't even considered offensive, that offended these kinds of people. And I'm like, after all the work that he's put in, trying to give people hope, a new generation of hope, this happens. I'm like, what's going on? I I thought that we were supposed to watch. We were reading comic books. We were playing these video games. We were watching movies. So that way we can have some hope develop in us, so that we can have a purpose, so that we have an idea of why we're here through the eyes of somebody else who is able to make a difference based on the power they have. I mean, Stan Lee was the one who said, with great power comes great responsibility. And I felt like all that power went away. It started crumbling after 2008. And then when he started having to deal with the elder abuse and these SJW agendas, I'm sure that deep down he had to endure all this pain I'm sure that he didn't want it this way, but unfortunately, greed by other big major corporations always tries to take control of everything, no matter how good the intentions are in the beginning. And that's part of it, is what made me sort of hesitate to meet Stan Lee, because then I wonder whether he might have changed for good. I mean, sure, he would have been a nice guy, but would he have been faking it? I mean, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have, based on my first cousin actually meeting him, saying he was the nicest guy in the world, gave him a hug, and always telling him how great a person she was. And, you know, just there's a lot of mixed feelings here. And then I wonder whether an autograph or a picture with him would have meant something, considering what's been going on. Would he have been the same person as he was, 20, 30 years ago? Most likely, yes. But then I wonder, if it's not a big deal, then what's the point of having it? I mean, with every other voice actor celebrity I've encountered, I always feel like after that, I have nothing else to think about. Like, my desires have literally gone away. And that reminds me of a quote by James Avery when he played Uncle Phil in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He said to Hillary, "It's better to want something and not have it than to have something and not want it." So maybe in a way it is kind of good, because then I could always think about Stan Lee as the person still trying to help people, and then I could always keep having a curiosity or desire to push me to become a better person. And then I feel like if I were to have met him, then maybe it would have ended, and then I wonder, what's my purpose from there on out? So I'm thinking on an individual level, it probably would have been better if I hadn't met him. But then on a higher level, which involves the whole world, the only thing I think would benefit would just say, oh, I got a picture with Stan Lee. He was the nicest guy. He made an impact. But that's what everybody says, and there's nothing wrong with that. But then you sort of think he made an impact. He gave people jobs. He helped people have a future. And then you sort of wonder whether you could do something similar to what he can. And usually the best way to do that is to go through what he did. And, I feel like, by doing what the other 99% of other people do, that I don't do it either, then I could help differentiate myself, try to build something in a way that he could, if that makes any sense. I'm just, I shouldn't be sad that he died. I should be grateful that this happened, and I am extremely grateful. He helped make the 90s an extremely memorable decade, mainly because of Spider-Man the Animated Series, the Spider-Man N64 games, and also his cameo on The Simpsons. That was probably one of his best cameos ever. I'm not talking about the second one, because that was shit, but the first one where he was a parody of himself pretending to be the Incredible Hulk and criticizing comic book guy, I'm sure that's something that they wish would happen to them in real life as well. So that's all I wanted to say. That's my input. So thank you guys for watching, and To all you Stan Lee fans out there, Excelsior.